film is The Morning After, which was released July 17th by director Matthias Snedker, and it's starring Megan Poulsen, and Ellen Stockholm. Um, yeah, this is basically a student film. It's a very very low budget film. The lighting is not good. The sound quality is not good. The acting is really really not good. But the basic concept of it is a little interesting. And if the writer and possibly director had a little more maturity going into the plot, it might have worked. They think they're being edgy at times when they're not. I should have known going in when, first of all, there's no reviews. Secondly, every blurb of it says, when Joe and Sophie have a lesbian encounter. And I kept thinking to myself, like, why is that the important point of this story? Why? Who cares? But again, I've traveled around the sun many times. So for me, two women sleeping together, even if one does not identify as gay or bi, it's not news and it's not shocking and it's not edgy. It's just what humans do. But the story begins after their encounter. They're sort of at a party. Joe and Sophie are friends, but they end up hooking up. They wake up the next morning and they're being targeted by these incels in masks. A warning, there is violence against a dog in this film, which I wish I had known about. I know it's acting and the dog was acting, but I still don't want to see it. And so they're being targeted by these incels, and they're told that there's a man trapped with them named Patrick, who was Sophie's ex. And they want Patrick and Joe is a staunch lesbian, to engage in sex for a camera to lose Joe's virginity. They're incels, but there's a part of me that feels that the incels, we're supposed to be disgusted with them, but there's a part of me that feels like some of what they're saying, perhaps someone involved with this film is kind of championing a little bit, like this whole men can't be replaced and the liberal left is dead. I don't know. It came across insulting. It came across obnoxious. It didn't work the way it should have. And they try to talk a lot about social media and the impact of that and how nothing's real anymore. We're all in the matrix because of social media. It was a little too obvious. And again, a little obnoxious. So I felt like if this had been given a little more care in terms of the plot and a little more sophistication and maturity, it might have worked better. The Morning After is kind of sort of a home invasion film, and that is my favorite subgenre of horror films. So I wanted to mention two of my favorites. Basically, my favorite home invasion film, and I bet everyone could guess this, is The Strangers. It is so scary. It continues to be scary. As I think about it years after watching it, I still get chills from it. There's this scene where Liv Tyler is pouring a drink or something, and that the man in the mask walks by behind her. It freaks me out to this day. The ending, the why, because you were home, freaks me out. Probably because I am always home. I work remotely, so I am home. I am the person the strangers are going to come after. Such a scary film, such a tight film, just so well done. Brilliant. A brilliant, brilliant horror movie, and probably my favorite home invasion film ever. A close second is I See You, which I don't think got as much attention as it should have, probably because of the title. It just doesn't quite cover. They really needed to work on a better title because it doesn't really cover what this film is about. But there are froggers who go into a home, which is creepy enough, right? The idea of somebody living in your walls, living in your home without you realizing it is just very unsettling. But then it twists and turns all over the place. And that's what got me the most. The frogging aspect really creeped me out. I just don't like that thought. Like I said, someone being in the house with me, and because I can't hear, I don't know if somebody's in the house with me, and so that really gets under my skin. But the twists and turns got to me too, because every time I felt like I knew what was going to happen, it shifted and they pulled the rug out from under me. And then I was like, okay, now I know. But then there would be another shift. So just a really well done film, really exciting. And so that's probably a close runner up in terms of my home invasion films.